inside my car right now because we're going to go ahead and fix a chip that I have in my windshield. You can't really see it. Go ahead and point to it. But it is right there. Do you see it? Okay, we've had a chip in my windshield before because out here in the desert there's a lot of rocks and stuff on our dirt road, so you just kind of occasionally get a chip. And so now we're going to go ahead and use a chip kit to try and fix that chip that is in the windshield because I don't want it to spread. First thing I did was wash down my windshields. Now we're just scraping it to make sure that there's nothing inside that chip. Now that we've kind of dug out anything that's in there, we're going to go ahead and wipe it down again, make sure there's nothing left in there. Right, so on this suction cups, you want to go ahead and put a little spit on there, and then you're going to go ahead and center the hole right where your crack is and stick it on there. The trick is to make sure that it's really centered over the hole. We're going to pull it off and just slide it down a teeny bit. Then you're going to go ahead and just push that down and stick it on there. I don't think that you can really see it, but you definitely want to make sure that that chip is right in the center. We actually had to get a footstool and get up there so that we could get a better view of it. All right, so now we have a piece called the resin chamber, and we're going to go ahead and just screw that into the middle. Okay, so you want to keep on screwing until that resin chamber, the tip of it is right up flat against the glass. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put 3 to 6 drops of the fluid into the resin chamber. If it starts to leak, then we're going to go ahead and tighten up that chamber, but I think it looks pretty good. The amount of resin is going to depend on how big your chip is. So now we're going to go ahead and put the pressure driver in, push that down, and screw it in. We're going to tighten until the pressure driver is screwed in almost all the way. Looking to see that the fluid is filling up into the crack and just wiping away some of the excess, and just let it sit for a couple minutes. We're actually going to let it sit for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and take the pressure valve out just to release some air bubbles, and then we'll screw it back in. So we're unscrewing the resin driver, and we're going to go ahead and release any air so any air bubbles can get out. And we're visually going to check to see if the chip is being filled in. You're going to notice kind of a darker blackish greenish spot if it's not filled in. And I'm looking at it, and a little bit to the right I'm thinking still needs to be filled in. So we're going to go ahead and push it back down one more time. And then if we still can't get it to fill in, then we'll go ahead and put in a couple more drops. I'm still not real happy with the crack being filled in, so we're going to go ahead and add a couple more drops. You can do some touch-ups after the fact, but we might as well go ahead and put the extra drops while we've got it set up here. And we're just going to screw the resin driver back in and let it sit for a couple more minutes. After you've added some more resin, you still want to wait that 5 extra minutes, open it back up, let any air bubbles out, and then push the driver back in again. All right, one thing about it is the directions don't really give you much on timing other than the actual 5 minutes that you wait in between pushing down the driver. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and unscrew it and pop it off, and then just wipe off any excess. Comes off pretty easy, and go ahead and just wipe it off. And definitely see some spots still there, so we're going to see if we can touch it up and get those out. So now we're just going to go ahead and do a touch up. Any place that looks like didn't get filled with the fluid, we're going to go ahead and add a couple drops, and then we're going to put the curing strip on top of that. Push down. Alright, so you're just pushing it down. You're not really putting any pressure on it. It just kind of stays there. Alright, with the strip on there, we went ahead and then moved the car into the sun, and we'll go ahead and keep it on for 5 to 10 minutes. So we went ahead and waited the 10 minutes, but then got a windstorm that actually blew the tape away, so it looks like it is dry enough for us to go ahead and scrape off the extra resin that is around it. This kit that we have is an older kit because we've already used it, so ours either didn't come with the razor or we don't have it anymore, but we have one, so we're going to go ahead and scrape that excess off. It's a little tough, but just go ahead and keep going until you get it all off. Just wipe away the excess. Alright, so looking at the crack, and it actually looks really pretty good, but not perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a couple more drops, and then we're going to put that curing strip back on it. So there's a couple drops right exactly where you think it needs to go, and then we'll go ahead and put the strip back over it. Only this time, instead of just laying it there, we're actually gonna put some pressure with the razor blade, scraping it across and kind of forcing it into anything that didn't get covered the first time. We went ahead and waited 10 minutes, scraped off the rest of the resin once it was dry, and there is still a hairline crack there, but I feel pretty confident that it's not going to spread, that it at least did the trick for now. We probably could go back and do it again, but I think it's good enough. Now, this kit that we have, this do-it-yourself windshield repair kit, we've had this for 3 years since the last crack, and the fluid was seemed to be fine, so we went ahead and tried it. Maybe if we would have bought a brand new one, it might have worked better. I would give it, based on this crack, a 4 out of 5. The last repair that we did, it completely took away the little chip that was there, which might have even been a smaller chip, but I would have definitely given it a 5 out of 5. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that it helps take care of your chip repairs, and thanks for watching.